wonder what happens when you mix hot lava and chicken?
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends.
When Rachel Zegler signed on to star in Disney's live-action Snow White, it was supposed to be her moment, a real crowning achievement, the perfect mashup of her rising star power and Disney's timeless magic. But oh, honey, the fairy tale started unraveling fast. From the moment whispers hit the internet about Disney's major changes to the classic storyline, fans were already giving the side-eye. And before anyone could even see a frame of footage, the chatter turned nasty.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Chicken
And then, boom, enter Jack Black. According to all the wild tea brewing online, Jack allegedly confronted Rachel about the movie's production mess and her super aggressive defense of the project. People close to the set swear this confrontation wasn't just a casual chat. It triggered a full-on breakdown for Rachel. Sis was under so much heat, carrying Disney's hopes on her back, trying to fight off mounting backlash, and it finally caught up to her. What started as a sweet Disney remake had morphed into a messy, high-stakes disaster.
The future of Hollywood is being battled out right now in theaters as 2 live-action remakes from the biggest studios in Hollywood go head-to-head.
Even before the Jack Black moment, fans were already dragging the film to filth. From accusations of tone-deaf woke choices to early test screenings that left people scratching their heads, the vibe was off. Hardcore Disney fans, the ones who would normally defend anything with mouse ears, were straight up worried.
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight.
Early murmurs claimed the film's overbearing messaging and choppy pacing were killing the magic. At first, people brushed it off as typical online negativity, but every new leak made it harder to stay optimistic. The bad buzz just kept getting louder.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist, who's just clinical at this point, saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Premiere.
And louder. It got so out of hand that even Bob Iger, Disney's head honcho himself, had to jump into damage control mode alongside Rachel. They tried to spin the narrative, reassuring everyone the film was just misunderstood. But baby, the streets weren't buying it. Rumors exploded that last-minute reshoots and frantic editing had butchered the film's flow. Whole scenes were allegedly ripped out and replaced, and it showed.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Test audiences spilled the tea too. The movie started strong but nosedived into a confusing mess. Bad pacing, heavy-handed themes, and absolutely none of the enchanting Disney vibe we all know and love. And right in the middle of all this chaos, Jack Black ready to light the match.
You know what's interesting about all this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
Jack Black, the lovable, energetic icon of comedy, allegedly couldn't bite his tongue anymore. Insiders say he confronted Rachel directly, questioning why she kept dismissing the growing concerns from fans instead of listening. Was she making it worse by brushing them off as ignorant or malicious? According to the whispers, Jack wasn't cruel about it, he was real. But still, Rachel didn't take it well.
Rachel Zegler then inexplicably continued to post herself in an empty theater for her own movie. She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is?
Witnesses say the conversation got heated, and Rachel reportedly broke down in tears. Some say it wasn't just the confrontation, it was everything building up at once. The endless online hate, the crushing pressure of Disney's billion-dollar expectations, the brutal reshoots. Jack's words? They were the straw that broke the princess's back.
Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Others close to the set insisted Rachel was already at her limit, and Jack unknowingly pushed her over the edge. Either way, once the rumors hit social media, it was over. Fans and haters alike grabbed their popcorn, dissecting every detail. And it became very clear, this wasn't just about a creative disagreement anymore.
And the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event.
It was chaos. Real, messy, emotional chaos, leaking straight out of Disney's once airtight Magic Kingdom. Neither Rachel nor Jack Black ever addressed the incident publicly. But by then, the damage was done. The narrative, Snow White was officially cursed.
Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform.
Some fans begged everyone to calm down, reminding people that big-budget productions always have drama. But let's be real. When the tea is this juicy, nobody's putting their cup down. At the heart of all the mess, one question still lingered. Was Disney even making a fun kids movie anymore? Or had they turned it into a preachy lecture nobody asked for?
It is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message.
Critics roasted the movie's pacing with scenes so jarringly stitched together that people said they felt whiplash trying to keep up. Even Jack Black's potential comedic magic, if he had any cameo, couldn't save it. And Rachel, she was left holding the bag.
It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be.
Bob Iger doubled down on the positivity train, insisting Disney's always reimagined classics for new generations. But longtime fans weren't having it this time. For many, it wasn't about change. It was about losing the heart of what made Snow White magical in the first place.
Whereas the Snow White model is the message ad infinitum, shoved directly up your ass, and, most importantly, in the most insufferable possible way, like screamed at you.
Some blamed modern sensibilities clashing with simple storytelling. Others whispered about behind-the-scenes meddling that stripped the movie of any sincere creative soul. And the Jack Black confrontation? It only threw gasoline on the fire. Because if even Jack, Hollywood's class clown and chaos tamer, was allegedly calling out the issues, oh baby, things were worse than we thought.
And so let's see how they fared against each other. The Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening, while woke Snow White slips again.
As rumors kept spiraling, the cynics went wild. They swore this wasn't just a small hiccup. This was a full-blown meltdown inside Disney's kingdom. And Rachel, her defenders scrambled to remind everyone just how brutal Hollywood and social media can be, especially for young women. They argued, if Rachel did break down, who could blame her? After all, it's always the leading ladies who take the hits when things fall apart.
The Disney Snow White, faithfully adapted, would have made $1 billion. Everyone knows this.
Still, the big question remained. How exactly did Jack Black confront her? Was it a private convo that some nosy crew member overheard? An awkward moment during a press event? A fiery phone call that got leaked? No one knew for sure. But every version of the story had one common thread. Rachel got emotional, and she retreated from the spotlight just long enough for the rumors to explode.
So the film received a low score on Rotten Tomatoes, but 87% fan approval. The rankings were very similar to Snow White, which received a 40% critic score, 73% audience ranking. Yeah, right.
The silence around it only made people more suspicious. No denial, no clarification, just an eerie hush. Meanwhile, critics who saw early cuts of Snow White kept dragging it for losing the story's original soul. They said the movie kicked off charmingly enough, then got bogged down with so much message that it forgot it was supposed to be a fairy tale. Some claimed any comedic moments, if they existed, felt painfully out of place, clashing hard with the film's overly serious tone. Even Jack Black's humor, if it made it into the final cut, couldn't save it.
However, the Minecraft movie was not plagued by controversy of being woke.
Die-hard Disney fans lucky enough to catch test screenings didn't hold back either. They described the movie as whiplash in movie form. One moment serious, the next trying to be whimsical, and failing miserably at both. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered about producers scrambling like mad, slashing and reordering scenes, desperately trying to salvage a sinking ship. And the talk about Jack Black confronting Rachel, it didn't seem so crazy anymore. It actually fit the chaos perfectly.
It got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made $2.
The vibe was crystal clear. This wasn't just about people being picky. Even Disney's most loyal defenders, the ones who cried during the Lion King remake, were now throwing side eyes. And if they were worried, you know it was bad. Some saw the Rachel-Jack showdown as symbolic, a symptom of a deeper meltdown happening inside Disney itself. The Snow White debacle wasn't just a bad PR week, it felt like the beginning of a major cultural shift. The fallout, meltdown, or manufactured drama. Industry insiders started whispering about the real problem. Snow White had strayed way too far from its heart. Sure, updating old stories is important, but critics said this version was so obsessed with pushing a message it forgot to just tell a good story. Fans didn't want a lecture, they wanted magic, and when the production team implied critics were just haters or bad faith trolls, the backlash got even louder. Because here's the thing, if Jack Black, beloved by kids and adults alike, felt the need to confront Rachel, it meant even Hollywood insiders were uncomfortable with how things were going down. Some suggested Greta Gerwig, who had some behind-the-scenes influence on the project, might try to step in and do damage control. But honestly, at that point, it probably would have looked like too little, too late. Is Disney's remake era crumbling? If you zoom out, Snow White's disaster is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. Disney's live-action remake magic? It's wearing thin, real thin. The early 2000s and 10s, bangers like The Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, they had the public eating out of Disney's hand. But lately, each remake has been met with more side eyes, more memes, more "who asked for this" comments. And Snow White? It might just be the tipping point. Some experts believe Disney's about to face a harsh reality. Nostalgia alone won't sell tickets anymore. You can't just slap a modern message on a classic and expect the magic to still be there. Audiences want to feel something, not get preached at. The meltdown becomes the story. At the end of the day, whether the Jack Black-Rachel Zegler confrontation was real, exaggerated, or a complete fabrication, it doesn't even matter anymore. It feels true, and that's what sticks in people's minds. It taps into a much bigger frustration, that Hollywood keeps taking beloved childhood memories and turning them into awkward, preachy messes. Rachel's alleged meltdown? It's the symbol of everything wrong with that. A young actress crushed under impossible expectations, an old-school comedian trying to call out the obvious problems, and a billion-dollar company pretending everything's fine while the ship's clearly taking on water. What's next? All eyes are now locked on the Snow White box office numbers. If by some miracle the movie wins over audiences, maybe Disney can claw back some goodwill. But let's be real. Insiders aren't optimistic. The buzz is bad. The test screenings were bad. And if the final cut really is as jumbled and heavy-handed as everyone says, no amount of curiosity will save it from crashing. If it bombs, it'll be a wake-up call Disney cannot afford to ignore. If it somehow thrives, it'll be a bizarre case study in how controversy sells, even when the final product is a mess. Final word, a meltdown heard around the world, Rachel Zegler, Jack Black, Disney. 3 names tangled in one messy, emotional, historic Hollywood disaster. Whether Rachel really broke down that day or not, whether Jack Black really confronted her the way the rumors say, it doesn't matter anymore. Because the meltdown, real or imagined, has become the defining symbol of what happens when you mess too much with magic. Disney's future? Still hanging in the balance. But Snow White's legacy as one of the most controversial remakes in Disney history? Already sealed.